Ever heard the whisper of the cold palace? It's more than just a place. It's a forbidden word in the forbidden city, the shadow that loomed over the lives of anyone who dared to fall out of favor. If you're a fan of Chinese period dramas, this term pops up often, but what does it really mean? Some might even wonder, where is it? Well, it's not a specific place, but more of a royal ghosting. The cold palace wasn't just a phrase, it was a threat. Uttering it was like speaking of a fate no one wanted to meet. Picture being iced out in the world's largest palace, the Forbidden City, not a physical place as much as a state of royal neglect. When you fall out of favor with the emperor or empress, anywhere in the palace can become your frosty home. And cold doesn't just mean a little shade. It's the kind of cold that seeps into your bones and into your soul. When the ruler decides you're out, you're out. This cold palace concept dates back to as early as the Han, Tang, and Ming dynasties, but it really got its name and drama queen level recognition during the Qing dynasty, thanks to its depiction in literature and TV dramas. Imagine being stuck in one of over 900 rooms in the Forbidden City, completely forgotten, while the emperor's new favorite is getting all the attention. Depending on how far you fall from grace, you could be relegated to luxurious seclusion or stuck in a drafty, decaying room, with no coal to fend off the freezing Beijing winters. Oh, and if you're wondering why it's called the Cold Palace, because it was emotionally and often literally cold. Let's spill some tea on the real-life women who got sent to the Cold Palace. Let's kick things off with Empress Qianjiao, wife of Emperor Wu of Han. This girl had drama before she even married. Her mother, Princess Guantao, tried to marry her teenage daughter Qianjiao off to the crown prince, but when that plan flopped, she turned her target to the 5-year-old Liu Che, who was 8 years younger than Chen Jiao. Liu Che later became Emperor Wu. After a few years with no heir, things went downhill fast. When Emperor Wu fell for a dancer who gave him a son, Empress Chun resorted to witchcraft to win him back. Not exactly subtle, right? Once caught, she was sent to the Cold Palace but still given necessities. Yet, this woman wasn't giving up that easily. She made a comeback. People, how? She hired a poet to write the Ode of Long Gate, tugging at the emperor's heartstrings. It worked. Emperor Wu paid her a visit and bam, she was back in the emperor's favor. Moral of the story: never give up and never underestimate the power of a good poem. Oh, and the poet? He was heavily rewarded, of course. Now, let's jump to the Ming dynasty and another Empress Qin, this time married to the Emperor Jiajing. This poor woman was stuck in an arranged marriage to a man who couldn't stand her. She was forced on him by his aunt and father, and things were bad from the start. When she became pregnant, Jiajing threw a fit and caused her to miscarry. She kept the title of empress but was ignored and neglected for the rest of her life. Classic cold palace treatment. And knowing Jiajing, that neglect wasn't peaceful. And then there's Zheng Fei, the favorite consort of Emperor Guangxu. She had the audacity to encourage him to stand up to his aunt, Empress Dowager Cixi, and push for reform. The Empress Dowager Cixi was not having it. Her reaction? Enjoy your new digs in the Cold Palace. So she had Zheng Fei thrown into the Cold Palace, literally. She was confined to a run-down corner of the palace, given only scraps of food. She became thinner and weaker by the day. It's said that every morning, Cixi's most loyal eunuch would wake her with a slap and a demand for praises to the empress. That's a harsh wake-up call. It's rumored that her tragic finale was a forced dive into a well to end her life. If you visit the Forbidden City, you can even see the Zheng Fei well, where her story came to a chilling end. And finally, we have the last empress, Wan Rong, the wife of the last emperor, Puyi. Her story is one of addiction and abandonment. After Puyi lost his throne, Wan Rong was caught having an affair with not one but 2 guards and became pregnant. The child's fate remains a mystery, but Wan Rong was confined to her quarters, left alone with her thoughts and her opium addiction. She eventually died from malnutrition and opium withdrawal in a prison camp run by Chinese communist guerrillas, a far cry from her once imperial status. So, the next time you hear Cold Palace in your favorite drama, remember, it wasn't just a fancy term for being put on royal ice. It was a place of endless silence, chill in the air, loneliness, and desperation. When someone uttered "Cold Palace," it marked the end of many royal dreams. It's where palace walls witnessed not just the whispers of silks, but the silent screams of forgotten souls.